Hello Cowboy Nation. Let's go to another round of Dallas Cowboys news. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like so you don't miss any news from your team. Micah Parsons hits back at fake analysts who were left open when the Dallas Cowboys failed. Dallas Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons has played for Team USA long enough to know that NFL coverage revolves around him and his teammates, regardless of the outcome. But after an ugly loss to the Buffalo Bills this week, Parsons criticized what he called fake analysts about their propensity to attack the Cowboys the minute they slipped. In particular, Parsons has issues with former players adopting this family habit. "What I don't understand is everyone just expects the Cowboys to lose," Parsons said as he kicked off his Bleacher Report podcast, The Edge, this week. "I've seen a lot of analysts, people who are fake analysts who got TV jobs, saying, 'There goes your boy.' It's almost sickening that former players wait for current players to fail so they have something to talk about." Certainly across all networks, the 31-10 drubbing of Buffalo opened the floodgates for Cowboys hate. But the loss was uninspiring just as Dallas was climbing the rankings and starting to prove itself as a true NFL contender after several playoff disappointments. Parsons doesn't appreciate the nature of kicking them while they're down in Cowboys coverage. "Why do you want someone to lose so badly?" Parsons questioned. "I'm a fan of the game, right? Whether I'm playing Josh Allen or whoever, at the end of the day, I don't want to see Josh Allen hurt. I don't want to see him fail. I want him to continue his career. Obviously, when we're playing and lining up against each other, I'm trying to beat him. But it seems like a lot of people are just waiting for them to fail." Yet that same dynamic fuels athletes like Parsons who play in Dallas. Would he be hosting a Bleacher Report podcast if not for his fame leading the Cowboy defense? And for the fans who attack reporters for their opinions on the Cowboys, most NFL fans would trade for more attention in a heartbeat. Analyst makes an admission into one Cowboys narrative. At the end of last week, the Dallas Cowboys were on a 5-game winning streak and looked like they could win the Super Bowl. They went to New York for a game against the Buffalo Bills, a talented time, but they dedicated the entire year to developing their full potential. Instead of extending their winning streak, the Cowboys lost significantly, 31-10, and their chances of winning the NFC East and possibly finishing first in the conference took a huge hit. Although pass rusher Micah Parsons has stated that people across the country want the country Dallas loses, David Hellman said on FS1 Speak that it's more than just involvement in big stories about the Cowboys are good for business. The Cowboys have been called America's team for several decades, and while they may have the largest fan base in the league, they also have many haters who love it when the team fails. Against Buffalo on Sunday, quarterback Dak Prescott, who was the undisputed favorite to win regular season MVP, failed to throw a touchdown pass. As a result, he fell behind several players in the MVP odds and now appears to have an outside chance of winning the award. Sunday's game revived the incessant narrative about Prescott playing poorly in big games, and it's something the Cowboys and their fans need to worry about for the rest of this winter. The team still has a chance to reach the Super Bowl, but it's hard to imagine them hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy for the first time since the 1995 season. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones apologizes for lost accounts. "Don't do this." The Buffalo Bills, 8-6, embarrassed the Dallas Cowboys, 10-4, at Highmark Stadium in Week 15. During Buffalo's 31-10 victory, running back James Cook ran the ball 25 times for a career-high 179 yards and a touchdown, along with 2 receptions for 42 yards and a score. A heavily battered Bills defense held Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott to just 134 passing yards and 0 touchdowns. Heading into Orchard Park, Dallas ranked first in the league in points per game, 40.2, and second in yards per game, 437.4. Prescott had not thrown an interception in 4 consecutive games before being picked off by Bills cornerback Christian Benford. Why is Dallas so bad on the road? For losses, 2 reasons. Everyone knows that the Dallas Cowboys have a talented roster, full of potential All-Pros and even a Hall of Famer or 2. One thing no one has any idea about is why the Dallas Cowboys can't seem to find a way to win football games on the road. One more thing is clear: if the Cowboys want any semblance of a successful winter campaign, they're going to have to figure out how to get wins when they're away from AT&T Stadium. What is the consistent key to the Dallas Cowboys' desperation on the road this season? I'll admit I'm a Cowboys fan, so I dove deep into this. If you're not an analytical person, this might be a bit much. So I watched Dallas road losses this season, all losses are, and put together some thoughts on where they fell short, besides the score, obviously. This Week 3 shock was the first exposure of the Dallas run defense, which will appear as a common theme for its deficiencies this year. The Dallas Cowboys defense yielded 222 rushing yards on 30 carries, including 2 rushing scores, one of which was an explosive 45-yard run by W.R. Rondale Moore. Teams that can run the ball in Dallas have a huge advantage for 2 reasons. First, they control the clock. This is one of the most obvious principles in football. 2. A rushing attack eliminates the effectiveness of the Dallas Cowboys pass rush, which is their defensive strength. The Dallas pass rush only sacked Cardinals QB Josh Cobbs twice in this game, mainly because the Cardinals kept the ball on the ground for so long. During a conversation on 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday, December 19, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones discussed what went wrong in Buffalo. "We are not finished. Period," Jones said, according to the Buffalo News. However, his attempt to explain why Dallas struggles on the road, they are 7-0 at home, was criticized by his own fan base. "The weather, for example," Jones said. "When it's wet and when it's dry. You say the other time also has to play when it's wet." Yes, they do, but I'm just making a difference. We have perfect conditions at home. We have the necessary elements when we are on the road, and it is a difficult time of year in terms of weather. Blogging with Boys posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, "Don't do this. I just accepted a loss." Up to 105.3 fan host Sean Sharif countered, but the first half was clear. One Cowboys fan responded, "Good times shouldn't have this problem, I hope we don't encounter it again this season." Another person wrote, "He was right to a point. I was at the game and it was upsetting, but that was something both teams had to work through. There is no excuse." Bills QB Josh Allen mentions Cowboys' inability to perform outside of the dome. Not only did the Bills defeat one of the hottest teams in the league, but they also won without the heroics of quarterback Josh Allen. While Allen typically needs to become a full-on Superman to defeat a Super Bowl contender, the Bills' timing stood out. Allen completed just 7 passes for 94 yards and a touchdown, as well as a rushing score. With a 28-point lead, Bills coach Sean McDermott let backup quarterback Kyle Allen finish the game with more than 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Speaking to reporters after the game, "I felt like the kid who didn't do anything on the class project but got an A," Allen said. "But if it means the team wins, I'll do it 10 times out of 10. As for why the Bills' run game was so successful against the Cowboys, I think, more. What did you think of this news? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, so you don't miss any news from your Dallas Cowboys. Thanks.